Okay, so I thought I was finished, but I couldn't resist doing these, kind of finishing it off with that. I thought I was looking and looking and looking last night, and I was looking at all the stitches, and I thought, oh, I really like the simple finish off, but then let me just try this, and then I fell in love with it. Okay, so basically this part is the easy part, because you are going to be working. So it's, you know, so you just, I'm going to leave the spacing up to you, but I haven't started in the center, but I would say start in this 1, 2, 3, 4. Start in the center, in this kind of between the 2 single crochets, worked into your center 2 puffs. Okay, so now what you're going to do is these little spaces over here is where you're going to attach your little pyramid. Okay, so we're just going to work a double crochet. So we're going to work 3 double crochets. So it's basically 3 double crochets and a picot and 3 double crochets. So imagine that we're beginning 1, 2, 3. So I've been very lazy with my picot. I've just kind of done it right into the stitch, but don't do it like that. That's naughty. But I don't really have patience to go and do it properly, because I have time constraints. So right, but I'm quite happy with that. So then you just, okay, so you're doing 3 double crochets, a picot, 3 chain picot, and then 3 double crochets. And then you're going to slip stitch into this little space, a little hole where we kind of skipped over our half double crochet front post. You're just going to slip stitch, and then you're going to work again between, so you're just going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, my lazy picot, and 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then slip stitch. So that's kind of your spacing, so that's easy for you to work out. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Don't look at how lazy I am doing that picot. Okay, and 1, 2, 3. So it's kind of a little bit, it's, for me, it's sort of got a carnival kind of feeling, although to be honest, I feel that the Afghan itself has more of a classical feel, so I could have done something a little bit more like maybe shells or something a little bit more classical, but I quite just liked this, you know, I thought it was kind of a fun ending. Okay, so in fact then our border has 11 parts to it, so this will be, you know, part 11. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And I kind of imagine that picot, you know, that you could work a little tassel into it if you really wanted to go a bit more flamboyant. You know, but and who knows, I might still do that because this is a very decorative piece, so you know, we could go for tassels, why not? 1, 2, 3. The reason I'm doing this with you is because I want to show you how to kind of strike out onto the sides from the corner. 2, 3. Okay, so just make sure you're spacing. Alright, so kind of that's the last one, and the last one we'll basically skip those 2 single crochets, the first 2 single crochets we did before the puff, and then slip stitch like that. And now we can use our double crochet front post and our back post to space things. So we've got 1, 2, 3, so let's work into, so what we're going to do is work into the middle. So we'll yarn over, we're going to work, so it's going to be a little bit squashed, maybe. 1, 2, 3. Right, as I say, this is my kind of finish off, but it doesn't have to be yours. You know, if you want to do something a little bit more classical, if you want to go ahead and you know, just do a simple okay, so we have got, right, so we're gonna go, alright, so you know, I've just kind of jumped into this, and then we are going to go into the center there. So you're going to have to just figure out your own spacing. Maybe that's not the right spacing. I'll be back in a second, because actually I've just spontaneously done this, and then I got very excited and I thought, oh, let me show everybody. So just hold on a second while I figure this out. Okay, so that was fairly simple. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to skip 2 single crochets, and then you're going to do and you're going to work into your 3rd single crochet. Then you'll skip 2 and you'll slip stitch into your 3rd single crochet. You'll skip 2, slip stitch. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. It's going to work, you're going to skip 2 single crochets, and you'll be working into your 3rd single crochet. Okay, so you work into your 3rd single crochet, you slip stitch into your 3rd single crochet, you work into your next single crochet, you skip 2, work into the 3rd single crochet, work your double crochets and your picot, slip stitch, skip 2 single crochets, slip stitch into your 3rd, skip 2 single crochets, work into your 3rd single crochet, skip 2 single crochets, slip stitch into your 3rd, and you just go along like that. Okay, so that's pretty simple, and then I shall see you just before we get to all of this. Okay, so kind of stop kind of just before that, and then I'll show you how to go over. Okay, we're going to do this together and we are going to win. Okay, see you in a moment. Okay, so kind of conveniently I ended up working my last, so we're just going to, so our very last little thingy here, I'll just do the last double crochet. 1, 2, 3. So I think the best place is to pop a slip stitch into that space above our very first puff. So that's a good marker, like that. And then we're going to yarn over and we're going to work into our next puff. So 1, so not into the next puff, but into that space above it. It's kind of a good marker. 1, 2, 3. There's me doing my lazy picot. Now you see I've got a treble. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll slip stitch into the next space. So we'll use those spaces above the puffs to mark our next, like where we start and where we end, with these little, whatever you call them, little pyramids, little picot pyramids. Okay, 1, 2, 3. But you know, maybe you figure out another way of doing it, or as I say, you might want to do something completely different. This is really an optional round. Okay, you might have all sorts of other ways. What I like about finishing off like this is that it gives you an opportunity to really make the blanket your own. You know, you can, I saw that with Munzie, people doing different finishing off borders and all sorts of things. You know, I don't expect people to do exactly what I do. The pattern is just kind of a suggestion. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. See? 1, 2, 3, 3, and then, you know, normally you should do your picot behind the beginning chain, but it is now getting to the end of the day. It's also Wednesday, so you know I have those darn videos that need to be uploaded. So, oh, I love that. I love the way that's worked out. I like that. Oh yes, so now we're gonna, yeah, so okay, so I think that's a good spot for us to work these. So we're going to work them into the space at the top of our puffs, and that's where we're going to connect. 1, 2. Okay, so you see there we've worked one above, and this is where we are going to slip stitch and then start the exercise. So we're just going to carry on like that, and then, well, you're just going to carry on. You're just going to carry on and carry on and carry on. Okay, so, and then, you know, we've gone past the halfway mark. You know, we've gone past our halfway mark, which was kind of over there somewhere. Over there. And so you're just going to mirror, you'll just mirror everything that we've done on the right hand side. So I just want to give you a better look. So I'm just going to put this straight like that. So you're still going to have your little piece that sort of bulges out like that, which is what I wanted, although it's not quite as pronounced as I hoped it would be. And that piece there. Okay, so you know, when you block it, you can pull it out a little bit. You can pull it out so that it's got that little bulge. Okay, I didn't want something that was completely kind of squared off, you know, because the whole design is very like that, you know, and it's got that kind of movement to it, and I really didn't feel like boxing it in. I just, every time I thought about it, and just, it would have been easy to just do that square, very, very square ending, very square border, but there was just, everything in me just could not live with it. So if you want to find a way to square it off and box it off like that, that's absolutely fine, but that's not what I'm going to do. Okay, so that's going to look like that, and if you use the same color, it will kind of, you know, you'll have that little sort of patterny thing going on there. That'll be happening, which would be quite nice. Yeah. Okay, so that really is now the end. That's the end, final, finito, finish and claw, finished. Fin. Okay, and I shall see you on the group, and well, here's to the next cowl, which I already have a few things in the pipeline, not a blanket, and I can't talk about it because it's a big secret. So I shall see you in the groups, and I hope you've had a lot of fun, and we'll chat about this, and we'll work out all the problems, and okay, so cheers.